Charlie Baker, Congressman Stephen Lynch, representatives from the offices of Senator Elizabeth Warren, Rear Admiral Tom Allen, Commander Peter Bosma, Mr. Chuck Parrish, and members of the Port Partner community. I am Captain Amy Grable, Commanding Officer of Coast Guard Base Boston, and I will be your Master of Ceremonies for today's groundbreaking ceremony establishing the Coast Guard's newest fast response cutter home port right here in Boston. The 541 women and men of Base Boston provide a full range of customer-focused mission support services that enable mission execution across the 1st Coast Guard District, spanning 2,000 miles of coastline from the U.S.-Canadian border to northern New Jersey. We are Rear Admiral Allen's single touch point for operational logistics, supporting both steady state and contingency operations in the D1 area of operations. Together with our partners, we are committed to ensuring the best supported FRC fleet in the Coast Guard. The FRC Homeport Construction Project is a $35 million infrastructure investment aimed at preparing Base Boston to host 6 new fast response cutters to support Coast Guard mission execution in the 1st District. The work includes demolition and construction of a new central pier, new floating docks, and expansion of the engineering services necessary to support the new fleet. Today, we recognize the important investment in the Coast Guard footprint within the city of Boston with a groundbreaking ceremony. Nobody's sure when it first began, but the tradition of breaking the ground before a project has been a long-standing ritual. In the past, this ritual represented making a sacred deposit in the earth in exchange for a strong and lasting foundation. Today's groundbreaking ceremonies follow a similar theme. They are a ceremonial event where we gather to celebrate the start of a construction project on the ground. Ground is often literally broken by way of a ceremonial shovel, and it's a chance to talk about the project with those that helped make it possible. The sequence for today's events is located in your program. Guests are asked to stand for the arrival and departure of the official party, the national anthem, and arrival of colors, and the invocation and benediction. Military guests are requested to remain covered and render salutes upon my command. Following the ceremony, there will be a reception in the function hall in Building 1, right over there. Will the guests please rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the playing of the national anthem and invocation. Now arriving, Mr. Chuck Parrish, Regional Area Manager of Walsh Construction. Now arriving, Facilities Design and Construction Center, Commander Peter Bosma. Now arriving, Commander, 1st District, Rear Admiral Tom Allen. Ready, 2. Color Guard, present the colors. Hand salute. 2.
Detail, order, arms, ride, face, forward, march.
Chaplain Anand Coughlin will now give today's invocation.
Available for the Coast Guard to make infrastructure investment in building the home port for the new fast response cutter in order to properly support the Coast Guard mission execution in the 1st District. We pray for every person from the decision makers and the planner to the architects, engineers, and builders who will devote their time and energy in making this home port be fully guided by the wisdom from above, and that they will finish the work as scheduled. We thank you, Father, for the men and women in the Coast Guard who make this country strong and safe. They are models for us. We pray for the forthcoming men and women in the Coast Guard who will be assigned to this new fast response cutter, that they will find their home base secure in Boston area, and that they will perform their mission well. Help us, O Lord, to finish the good work here began. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce the 72nd Governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, Governor Charlie Baker. Raised in Needham, Governor attended the Massachusetts Public Schools and is a graduate of Harvard College and the Kellogg Graduate School of Management at Northwestern University. We are honored to have him present today for today's ceremony to highlight this important investment in the state of Massachusetts. Governor.
Thank you very much, Captain. So I'm going to be very brief here because I can't wait to get out and start throwing some dirt around. Let me just start by saying that the cutter service goes back a long time in the Commonwealth of Mass, hundreds and hundreds of years, probably 230, 250 plus or minus. And the first cutter was actually constructed at Newburyport back in the day and stationed here in Massachusetts. And the funny thing to me about it is a cutter back then was a lot different than a cutter now, okay? We're talking back in the 1700s about a sailing vessel. But the reason it was called a cutter was because the speed with which it moved through the water and the agility that it had based on the way it was designed and the way it was operated. The cutters that are going to end up here obviously aren't powered by the wind anymore, but they come with the same skills, capabilities that the previous cutters had, which is they are fast, maneuverable, and really important vessels, especially when you're thinking about the role the Coast Guard often plays in water rescue. And I think in some respects, for us here in Massachusetts, this decision by the Coast Guard to make a big investment in the future of the Coast Guard's presence here in the city of Boston and in the Commonwealth is a great statement about the men and women who are part of this organization here and about the faith that the people in D.C. have with the people here in Massachusetts. And I would just say My last comment would just be, I just want the Coast Guard to know how grateful we are for the work that you do every single day here in Massachusetts on behalf of the people of the Commonwealth and those who spend time on the water in this beautiful area, in this beautiful region. But in many respects, it's the security and the safety that you bring to your work that means so much to all of us. And to have this big decision made here in Boston, and to continue the very significant presence of an operation and an organization that's been a big part of our waterfront for the better part of 240 years is really terrific. And I just want to say to you, Captain, and to your team, congratulations, and I can't wait. They told me this thing would be done by March of 23, and that some of the vessels are going to start arriving in November. Yeah, this summer. So I'll still be governor then? So you maybe take me out on one of them?
You'll have to talk to Captain Benson about it.
Looking forward to that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Governor Baker. It is now my pleasure to introduce Congressman Stephen Lynch, the representative for the 765,000 constituents of Massachusetts' 8th Congressional District. In the 117th Congress, Congressman Lynch is a member of the Financial Services Committee, the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, and the Committee on Oversight and Reform, where he serves as chairman of the Subcommittee on National Security and is a member of the Subcommittee on Government Operations. It is an honor to have him here with us today to celebrate this important Homeland Security infrastructure initiative. Congressman?
Thank you, Captain, and good morning, everyone. Governor Baker, Mayor Wu, City Councilor Erin Murphy is here somewhere, where I see her. Thank you, Councilor. Good to see you. Admiral Allen and members of the official party. This is a wonderful day. You know, I was elected on September 11th, the day of the attacks, and the role of the Coast Guard has been transformed over that time. I've had the opportunity to travel with my coasties in Basra in Iraq, where they were actually teaching the Iraqi Navy how to bring in oil tankers in the Gulf in Basra. I've had the opportunity to spend time with the Coast Guard down at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, where they are part of the protection force around Camp 7. And I had the opportunity, I think it was about a month ago, Admiral, we had the Coast Guard cutter in here, one of the icebreakers in here, one of the new icebreakers in here, which because of climate change and the opening of many of the waterways in the polar regions of our planet, the Coast Guard RIT has really been expanded, and that cutter made one of the the most recent tours of our northern regions, really an impressive undertaking with the opening of many of those waterways. So we've been really blessed in this city and in New England to have a very active Coast Guard presence, and the addition of these 6 fast response cutters is really going to step up our ability to undertake all those functions that we have seen put upon the Coast Guard in recent years. One of the things I did want to remember was Admiral Allen. So my district goes from the city of Boston, the north end, where we are right now, all the way down to Scituate. So I have 3 cities, Boston, Quincy, Brockton, and then 21 towns. But one of those towns is Scituate, Massachusetts. And they have a Coast Guard station there called Coast Guard Station Scituate. They stayed up late that night thinking of the name, but there was a plan from Washington, D.C. to close that Coast Guard station. And because of the amount of, the public on the waters in coastal Massachusetts. The amount of activity we have there, even during this pandemic, has been off the charts. We were hoping that we might reverse the decision to close Coast Guard Station Scituate. And thanks to the good work of Admiral Allen, we recently were able to announce that Coast Guard Station Scituate will remain open, and will continue to provide that service to all those who use the waterways off the coast of Massachusetts. Again, I just want to say thank you for the Coast Guard for all you have done. We have asked much more of you in recent years than we ever have, and I was very proud. Last week, this is very timely, last week we were able to pass the Don Young Coast Guard Reauthorization Act, which funds the Coast Guard for the next 5 years. Don Young was a Republican member of Congress. He represented the great state of Alaska. He was a big supporter of the United States Coast Guard, and we really appreciated his service, so we were able to name the bill and pass it unanimously, Democrat and Republican, because one of those things that we, thank you. Because one of the things that we truly agree on in Congress is the importance of the United States Coast Guard, and we share, along with Governor Baker and Mayor Wu, we really do appreciate the service that you provide to us on a daily basis. So may God bless the United States Coast Guard, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman Lynch. It is now my pleasure to introduce the mayor of the city of Boston, Michelle Wu. Mayor Wu graduated from Harvard College and Harvard Law School and was honored in 2016 as one of the 10 outstanding young leaders by the Greater Chamber of Commerce as part of the Marie Claire's magazine's New Guard, the 50 most influential women in America. It is an honor to have her here with us today to celebrate this investment in the North End of Boston. Mayor?
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for the overly generous introduction, Captain. Thank you to Admiral and to all of the leaders gathered here today. I'm honored to be here with leaders from our city, state, federal government, colleagues that have been mentioned before on the City Council. I want to recognize also our Commissioner of the Boston Fire Department, Jack Dempsey, who's here as well. It's a very busy preparation for the marathon coming up in a couple days, too. I'm here to add my thanks to the Coast Guard and to everyone here for what you do every single day on behalf of the residents of the city of Boston and on behalf of the future and the uncertainties that might include. This decision to recapitalize Base Boston, to invest $35 million in creating 200 personnel positions, 6 new fast response, 6 new cutters over a number of years, will generate an estimated impact of $45 million annually on our local economy. The decision to lift up Boston as a key partner and to continue a relationship that goes back centuries is incredibly important to us here. We are grateful for all that you do, the changing ways in which you are doing this job with climate change, with our coastal city continuing to evolve in that way. And most of all, just wanted to reflect our gratitude for your service, for your investment, and for the future that we'll be able to share together. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor. It is now my honor to introduce Mr. Chuck Parrish. Mr. Parrish is the Regional Area Manager for the FRC Homeport Construction Project with Walsh Construction. He and his team are diligently working to bring us Base Boston's new FRC Homeport. Mr. Parrish?
Thank you. And on behalf of Walsh Construction and the entire team we assembled, we're really grateful to be entrusted by FDCC and the Coast Guard to deliver this project. Got a great team, and so far it's been a very collaborative process with everyone involved. I think it's going to be a great project. The team is ready to deliver, and it's been a long time in the making, and from planning to design to procurement to construction. It's always fun, but it's most fun to see the execution phase, and we'll get to see a little bit of that today. So I'm happy to be a part of that. And one big thing, one big goal of Walsh Construction and our team that I know here is to really promote the construction services industry as a great place to work for people. There's a lot of infrastructure needs. The industry is facing a shortfall of people everywhere, and we're really trying to not just deliver a safe and high-quality job here, but to deliver a job in a way that attracts people to the construction industry. So, you know, I had met Congressman Lynch for the first time today, and I was amazed to hear his progression from tradesperson to engineer to attorney to president of a local union to elected official, and that's been my experience in the construction industry. And it's always great for me to see people progress, and I think that this is a great industry. It's a great place to work, especially when we have really receptive owners and end users that want to be a part of the process and are helpful, which I think I've seen here. And you know, just in an effort to make that happen, the team here has done a lot of things, and happy to have the partnership with the Coast Guard in doing that. But we had a number of Women in Construction Week events the first week of March, which happens every year, and it's a great way to promote this industry for people who may not necessarily look to the industry as a place for employment. We have National Safety Week the first week of May to try and promote this industry as a safe place to work. It hasn't always been that way, but it's a big effort of ours to make that a much better end experience for the employees and be the employer of choice, or a good industry in that regard. And then finally, we have Bring Your Daughter and Son to Work Day, the 29th of April, I think it is. Karina probably knows better than me, and I'm hopeful to bring Caitlin and my son out here, my oldest, and just try and spark enthusiasm and replenish the ranks as we look to build these jobs and deliver critical infrastructure. It amazed me to hear that Admiral Allen oversees 2,000 miles of coastline, so this is an important project to deliver assets so that they can execute the missions that are so critical. But there's so much infrastructure need out there, and hopefully we can use this project as a way to promote the construction services industry here in Boston and beyond. And just grateful to be here and be a part of this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Parrish. It is now my pleasure to introduce Rear Admiral Tom Allen. Rear Admiral Allen is the commander of the 1st Coast Guard District. As such, he directs all Coast Guard missions across 8 states in the Northeast, including over 2,000 miles of coastline and 1,300 nautical miles of the Atlantic Ocean. Thank you for being here with us today, Admiral, to celebrate this major milestone.
All right, good morning, and welcome to all the guests that came out today. This is just a fabulous day for the Coast Guard, and to have all of you makes it just that much more special. I'm really proud to be here representing the Coast Guard. And it's great, too, because I think all our senior leaders have used a lot of my talking points. And when you can get senior leaders to use your talking points, that's great. So I'm going to reemphasize them because, you know, the more you hear them, the more you can repeat them later. So that's what we're looking for. I'd also like to say, as you get something like this together for the Coast Guard, you see we got a lot of color guards. We've got a lot of people that are making this happen. Here we have Lieutenant Kaylee Higby, CWO Ben Searstead, and Mr. John Keys, along with the color guard. And can we just give them a round of applause for all they did here? So this ceremony will mark the start of a large and continued Coast Guard investment in the Northeast, with the $35 million recapitalization of Coast Guard facilities and acquisition of 6 new Coast Guard cutters at a total cost of $380 million. But the Coast Guard is much more than concrete and steel. What makes the Coast Guard an essential part of our nation's economy and a vital part of our national defense is our unique authorities, our designation as a member of the U.S. Armed Forces, and our crews that come here from all over the nation. To bring to life the $415 million capital investment, the Coast Guard will increase our complement of crews in the area by 222 sailors, new Coast Guard men and women who will operate and maintain these facilities. Their presence will not only bolster our operational effectiveness in the North Atlantic, they will bring with them an annual economic impact of $45 million a year, and that's on top of the 500 people that are already here. This reinvestment is very fitting, as this is the birthplace of the modern-day Coast Guard. Brave men and women have served from this duty station since 1789, and I can't think of a better place to continue that legacy established over 200 years ago. From the first revenue cutter, Massachusetts, homeported here in 1789, where crews protected the dangerous New England coastline in times of war, while also carrying out customs collections and law enforcement missions. To our Coast Guard hero, Joshua James, from just south of here in Hull, Massachusetts, a true lifesaver who started his career at age 15 and is credited with saving over 600 lives as part of the U.S. Life-Saving Service. To the fearless Chatham boat crews who rescued 32 members from the SSS Pendleton, an oil tanker which split in half in a powerful New England nor'easter. The Coast Guard has come a long way since the modern lifeboat, wooden boats, and magnetic compasses, as the governor pointed out. But today marks the beginning of a much-needed recapitalization project, providing a safe home for 6 new fast response cutters, each named after a leader, trailblazer, or a hero of the Coast Guard and its predecessor services. These namesakes include enlisted recipients of the Navy Cross Medal, the Service Star Medal, the Gold Life-Saving Medal, and Navy and Marine Corps medals, and the Purple Heart. Truly amazing people whose past service above self. The legacy of selfless dedication and heroism is reflected in the Hull's names for the 6 response cutters. And I think it's really appropriate to celebrate that, and we're going to do that as each cutter arrives. But to name that after our enlisted heroes who make up the majority of our force is just great. And let me just tell you a couple of stories about them so that when you get underway, you have a little bit more information on it. So Hull number 1150, which is going to be the first one, was named after William Chadwick. He's the recipient of the Gold Life-Saving Medal for his heroic efforts to save the crew of the schooner George Tulane, which caught fire in a nor'easter off the coast of New Jersey in 1880. Hull number 1151, Warren Dayenport, an African-American World War II combat veteran who was posthumously awarded the Purple Heart and Navy and Marine Corps medals for his efforts to rescue 100 survivors from the U.S. Army transport ship Dorchester, which was torpedoed by a German U-boat. Hull number 1152, Maurice Chester, a World War II combat veteran who was awarded the Navy Cross for his actions to sink the German U-boat U-352 and rescue 33 of its survivors. Hull number 1153, John Patterson, a World War II combat veteran who was awarded the Navy and Marine Corps medals for his actions to rescue personnel trapped in a burning landing ship during the invasion of Anzio, Italy. Hull number 1154, William Sparling, a World War II combat veteran who was awarded the Silver Star for piloting the first landing craft during the United States' first amphibious landing in the Pacific Theater. And hull number 1155, Melvin Bell, a World War II veteran and the first Pacific Islander to be promoted to the rank of Chief Petty Officer. We have some great heroes, and we're really looking forward to celebrating them, and we're really happy to have the U.S. Navy League, who has agreed to help us in some of those celebrations as we commission them here on the piers. These new fast response cutters are carrying out heroes' names will greatly improve Coast Guard capabilities. These new assets are 154 feet long, hold a fast over-the-horizon small boat, and have a stern launch system that enables them to swiftly launch the cutter boats in rescue and interception missions. With a crew of 24, it has an at-sea endurance of 5 days, which will enable the crew to spend more time offshore conducting operations. The improved endurance and seakeeping will increase operational capacity by 22%. This means we will be better equipped to enforce regulations that protect New England's fish stocks worth $5.8 billion a year. We will be better able to respond in a timely manner, and will be better able to enhance our ability to respond to times of environmental disaster. Every Coast Guard mission, though, begins and ends at a shore facility. With significant capability increases comes a need for significant shoreside investment. This project not only provides the pier space necessary to moor these vessels, but recapitalizes the maintenance facility supporting the cutters here at Base Boston. This includes several renovations to existing space in the first phase of the project. In phase 2, we will see continued work as we finish out the entire project. The master plan including these efforts did not happen overnight. The planning started years ago. Commander Pete Bosma is representing our facilities design and construction team in Norfolk, Virginia, and he's here with us today. We are grateful to have him and the many hardworking staff and civil engineers he leads for this project. Pete, without you and the team and the necessary acquisition funding provided to us by the administration and Congress, we would not be at the dig line today. And lastly, we cannot forget about the cutter acquisition team who worked hard to make the fast response cutters a reality. To date, this impressive program has delivered 43 fast response cutters around the world from Guam to Bahrain. As the first Coast Guard District Commander, I'm honored to give voice to the dedicated Coast Guard civil engineering professionals that made this day possible. Your support to the fleet is critical, ensuring the Coast Guard is mission ready each and every day. This and many other recapitalization efforts across the Coast Guard will ensure we are always ready to serve our nation. I anticipate sharing the stories of important operations and great rescues from our Coast Guard men and women as a result of cutters launching from these piers for many decades to come. I would now like to ask the members of the official party, as well as Governor Baker, Mayor Wu, and Congressman Lynch, to grab a shovel and join me in breaking ground on this pier.
Well, the audience, you can remain seated and observe because the ceremony will continue afterwards, but please.